So a couple of days ago, RunThrough told all their pacers that they're going to pause and stop the pacing program for the foreseeable future. So what does that mean for me? What does it mean for you as runners? And what are my plans going forward? So yeah, this news is hot off the press. I don't think it's actually been officially announced yet by RunThrough, but it's going to become common knowledge pretty quick. When you get to your next RunThrough event, there will be no paces. It'll be quite obvious from that. So obviously it's a decision RunThrough have taken for whatever reasons. They stated they didn't think the system was fit for purpose or was particularly fair for certain pacers. In terms of fairness, again, this is just my opinions. The system was fair. It was first come first serve. As a pacer, you could get to find the event that was available, request it, and if you were the first to be requesting it, you were allocated it. So, but in terms of fit for purpose, I've discussed this with a few pacers I know through RunThrough. There probably was too many pacers on the books. I think they had over 400 pacers nationwide, and they obviously do have regular races, but each race within each locality only has a limited number of spots, so it was quite difficult at times to get on certain races, especially if you particularly wanted to do one race at one time, and obviously certain times were more popular than others. So I can understand that certain people probably struggle to get onto any allocations. So in terms of that, they're going to obviously take it away and review it. So what does that mean? Obviously they've said it's been paused for the foreseeable, so they've mentioned maybe later in 2026, so we're talking 6, 9, maybe 12 months of no pacing for RunThrough, if at all. Again, it's their decision and they will come up with whatever decision they want to. But yeah, you as runners, if you're doing any RunThrough events for the foreseeable future, there will be no paces, so 10Ks, half marathons, whatever it might be in between. If you're hoping to rely on a pacer or maybe utilise their support at an upcoming RunThrough event in the near future, obviously that will no longer be available in the current climate. It may or may not come back in the future, but just to let you know, if you've got races booked with RunThrough, there will be no pacers, I assume, because they paused it for any events coming up. So yeah, maybe adjust your plans, maybe rely on yourself. Obviously the events will still exist, they'll still run the same way, it will just be in the absence of any pacers. So what about me? I only had a couple of remaining pacing duties till the end of the year. Obviously 2026 they're not going to allocate any more pacing slots. Any of the ones that were allocated for this year, they have now transferred over to a race entry bib, so I won't be pacing, but I will be hopefully running the events just as a runner like everybody else. So for me that means I'll hopefully be running the Tatton Park half marathon next weekend on Sunday the 9th of November. My last remaining one will be Heaton Park 10k on Sunday the 7th of December. They're the two remaining pacing duties I had, so I'll hopefully be running those two events. Annoyingly though, I've got this lingering lower abdominal strain, which I'm trying to clear up, trying to get rid of. Depending on how quickly this strain kind of clears up will dictate how hard I run those two events, if they're going to be hard efforts or just enjoyable runs. I am undecided now, I'm not pacing. So yeah, the injury is kind of a sports hernia, not a proper hernia where there's a lump coming through my stomach. It's just a strain of the lower abdominals from sporting events, probably from the vets football I've started to pick up over the last few months. Generally twisting, turning, kicking actions have strained it, which again is new to the system compared to running. So yeah, running hasn't caused injury, nor does it aggravate it. It's just a bit of a discomfort for the first few Ks and miles. After that it warms up and the kind of discomfort dissipates. But it does affect my knee lift. My hip adductors are starting to get tighter and tighter with the extra burden they're having to pick up, so it does affect my running a little bit. So then what about longer term? Obviously we don't know what decision RunThrough are going to make. They may return with the pacing system just in a better format that works better for the pacers, etc. but again, that's unknown at the minute. They may not bring it back at all if they don't feel it's going to work properly, so we have to wait and see. So I'm going to go off the premise that obviously they use the term foreseeable future, so definitely not for the first half of next year. So I'm going to go off the plan that they ain't going to implement running paces at their events again next year. Obviously I pace for a few different organisations. I've done a little bit for Run Cheshire in the past. RunThrough is my predominant pacing workload because they have the most running events running across the year, so it's easier to jump in and out of events for them. And obviously I still pace for active leisure events which run the Chester Triple Series, so the other ones are still running. I could pace and probably will pace for the other organisations as well, but obviously as I've just mentioned, Run Cheshire and Active Leisure only have a handful of events running throughout the year which have paces on them and that I could probably actually do, so there is going to be a reduction in my pacing workload next year in 2026. So what does that mean long term? I'm going to take the opportunity to take advantage of that I've got reduced pacing duties, and I'm going to try, as I mentioned, kind of touched upon it a few weeks back around the end of the marathon training, I'm going to try and get back into not serious but focused hard effort training, start to push that envelope again. Those that follow the channel throughout this year in 2025, I have relaxed my running, reduced it down in terms of workload and intensity, focused on my enjoyment and pacing more, which I've done and I have enjoyed. But I think 2026, now that this decision has been made and I will have a reduced pacing workload, I can solely focus back on my own running a little bit more, intensifying it, increasing it, structuring it again back into a solid form and trying to see what I can achieve. So I will give obviously more information towards the end of the year when everything's been finalised, but I am starting now to box off my running plans, my racing plans for 2026. My races have started to get booked and my training plans are starting to get put together. Obviously in 2025 I have achieved no PBs in terms of any of the main distances. 2026 there will be goals to hit PBs in most of them. Again, I'll give more details in a couple of weeks time towards the end of the year. So there's the update for today. Drop in the comments your thoughts. Obviously it's a bit of a shame. I thought the pacing team was a big part of the run through events. Obviously it's a relaxed atmosphere, but you've also got the support there, and the paces I came across in my travels at run through were mostly very good, very friendly and very beneficial to those that are trying to achieve their running goals. So yeah, it's a shame, but I also understand and respect RunThrough's decision. They've made it on the back of knowing far more information than I've got at hand, so it is what it is. We'll see what comes in the future. Yeah, all the best for your running. Thanks as always for watching. Happy running, and I'll see you on the next one.